Okay, welcome back to episode 2 of Call of Cthulhu. You'll notice that our good friend Will is not here. He's one of those people who believes in familial connections and whatnot, which clearly indicates that he's not long for the Call of Cthulhu world.
Game night is more important.
You're not willing to throw your family under the bus. The old ones are going to get
Yeah, Cthulhu's disappointed.
Or elated, maybe?
No.
That we're not stopping him?
No, he prizes ruthlessness above all.
It's true. He is the old one of war.
Okay.
So.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Represented by Mars.
How do you know this stuff?
I read the Necronomicon. I did. I read the Necronomicon.
Fair enough.
We all bought one. We just didn't read it. It's like...
So like Mars' positioning in the sky is really relevant for Call of Cthulhu?
Yeah, well, all of the Elder Gods have a planet they're associated with.
Which one is
so there are 9 of them?
I believe he's Venus. I don't remember him.
Which one is Earth?
No, because Hester is the god of like love and helping
Earth is
women in
not.
childbirth and
So there are 8 of them.
I have to go back
trees
and
and stuff. Like Hester is actually pretty chill.
Yeah.
I
I
hope
do go
none
back
of
and
them were
look again.
associated with Pluto. That'd be really bad for him. It's
Oh,
super
God,
embarrassing.
I think there is.
pissed,
I think
like,
there is.
they're not associated
I think
anymore.
Yig was Pluto, but Yig always gets the short end of the stick.
Well,
So.
okay.
Yig was either Pluto or Mercury.
That's hilarious. All right, so
I forgot.
when we left, when we last left our investigators, we had just discovered that Bobby Moore has been moved into your facility,
Yes.
and you were responsible for deciding what his placement would be like.
Okay.
Had you decided at that time whether or not you would put him in solitary or in
I think
general
we
pop?
put him in general pop.
All
We
right.
put him in like close, like 3 people, or in general pop.
So you can have him with like 2 cellies, or
Yeah, because that's what we had originally done
Okay.
last week. So yeah.
All right. Are you vetting his cellmates in any way? Are they going to be like ruthless Aryan Nation types? Or are they going to be like, super gigantic Green Mile mystical black guy who can raise people from the dead?
What?
Whoa. Okay.
That's the spectrum.
Because I did.
Choose something in the range.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
Psychotic black guy to magical black
Put him in with the very white collar crimes. Like someone who did
No, I'm gonna
tax
do-
evasion.
Hold
Oh, she
on.
doesn't have those people there normally.
Put him in with
okay.
the least likely
No.
route to shiv him.
You know.
What did this guy do again?
He was arrested for
When I had
dealing spray.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Was he?
He's the only one to-
Yes, he was the only person who actually had an arrest
Mhm.
that said that was the specific thing he was dealing.
Did he turn himself in or was caught?
He was caught.
So let's put him in a place where one roommate is a really quiet guy, but he only ever murmurs at night. And then another
Yeah, you got
guy,
time of those.
another guy
That seems
only
great.
ever just psychobabbles at night. And then the other guy is like your big, rugged, like tattoos and like you can't. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, this guy did this sort of crime, this guy did the other sort of crime, because
You're looking for personalities.
yeah,
You also
personality
want him to have bad sleep. Maybe the third guy snores.
No. The third guy is big. The third guy is the guy that might shiv you, but he's not quite sure yet.
Alright, nice.
Like,
So, is Night Murmurer and Big Guy, like, were they buddies already somehow? Or, like, was Night Murmurer about to be shivved by Big Guy? And
Sure.
this...
That's where the snoring comes in. Big guy
Oh.
snores.
Oh.
Because we can't hear.
Big and scary and snoring.
Man, no one gets sleep in that room.
Interesting.
I like.
Alright, I like this already.
No,
No, this is great.
It's
I
a
like
race to see who can get to sleep first.
I like the fact that you put
That's
him in
what
a
it
room where
always
you
is.
won't be able to sleep. That's not good to leave
In that
there.
situation.
I don't know.
No, that's fantastic. No, I like where you're going with this. This fits very nicely. Too bad there are no bag ladies in your prison. That would really...
Yeah, why don't you just stick him with the demons?
Just with the
Yeah,
back leg.
it's like, I wanted to be housed with the one demon.
Put him in the demon prison.
You know, it's like an outreach project with Hale. You know, they rotate prisoners.
It's like Buffy World, where it's like, oh yeah, we got this one wing for the vampires. Just stick them over here.
Don't tell anyone about it.
All right, so do you pass this information to Hale, does he know that you actually have a...
So
Or
I'm
does he
gonna
already
leave a
know?
note. So I will give him updates on if we have a new client or a new person or not, a new hit.
Yeah, because
And if I'm investigating them further, because I give him a heads up and be like, this is who I'm investigating.
Okay.
Do you... Because he does stuff on his end that need
Right.
preparation.
Yep.
And I do stuff on my end that need preparation. So I just let him know the name and who we're looking at.
Yeah, because right now...
And then I go and check it out myself.
Yeah, and then I go and check it out myself, and then we both don't. Yeah.
So what you might remember that from what we determined last session, that Moore is completely uncharacteristic. He's basically a divorcee who's an accountant. The fact that he even is guilty of this crime makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to investigate the officer that took him in.
He's also pretty blasé about the whole thing.
He's very blasé. It almost seems like he either doesn't think that he's going to be convicted, or that if he is, it's this is what I signed up for, so...
He got paid enough to do it.
Yeah, well, no. See, the thing is that there's no arrogance about it. If anything, it's resignation. It's he's just going through the whole thing oh, okay, well...
He's like, I didn't have a choice anyways. So.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sacrifice.
His eyes are red.
Because he's got 2 kids and an ex-wife that he doesn't have custody of, but he still sees his kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, his reaction doesn't seem at all in any way that seems to fit anyone who would be guilty of this kind of crime or even commit this kind
and
of
the
crime.
crime is super weird because it's such a specific thing.
Yes, and he's middle class, so there's no reason for him to be involved as a dealer.
He's an accountant, so he should be making, a good amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, he's decent enough that you can tell that he might buy drugs.
Yeah.
Because if you're an accountant, you have to do some drugs. But...
It's just very off.
Yes. And you might remember also that Patricia, the arresting officer, is also super clean.
Yeah.
She's fast-tracked on the sergeant thing. She's been with the force for over half a decade.
Yeah. So I can tell you what my take is going to be with her, or we can just roll through it.
Either way.
Okay. So I was going to go at it as I admire you so much. How did you find something that's so, this drug has destroyed everything? How did you find something that's so specific to it? Nobody has ever been able to catch something like this. How did you do it?
Okay, didn't you arrange to have drinks with her on Monday?
Yes,
okay.
coffee.
All right. So before we get there, you might remember that on Sunday we had that whole thing where you were in the library, and because of how things worked out, I think what's going to happen is Gene's not going to come work on Sunday. He and his hubby are going to go and antiquing or something.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize, if you and your hubby do not do antiquing, but I figured, old gay couple, what you going to do? It's
They go to a really fancy restaurant that may or may not have mob connections.
It is Chicago. There are some good restaurants.
Well, the idea was that his husband is a lawyer for the
It's
mob.
a restaurant that's so nice. It has an art in it
accountant
that you
for the
can
mob.
look at.
Whatever.
Our chef may or may not have had certain interactions who may or may not have been in prison. No.
Well, see, the funny thing is that Will's backstory, in theory, is that his husband is also not in any way involved with his family, but just happens to be, in the family.
Okay.
The whole theory is that he's not even supposed to know. Will's character doesn't even know his husband is in the mob, and his husband has basically disavowed his own family and doesn't do anything with that. Yeah, he got out. Yeah. Although Will is reserving the right to say he might be pulled back in if game circumstances require it.
That would be sweet.
Because originally the way he wrote it was that because he left the family, he was actually a loose end, and that there may be people in his family trying to kill him. So, so we'll see how that ends up going. But Will hasn't decided how he wants that to play out yet. So for now, he wants his husband to not be involved in any gameplay, in case he needs to have him come back, in case you have him killed or something. So you will be in the lab on Sunday unless you have some outside in the sunlight thing that you want to be doing.
Well,
No, definitely not.
We were supposed to talk over coffee. So you were
Was that
interested-
on Sunday? Or
Was that on Sunday? What day was that?
did we take notes?
I did not
I
know
just know
whether
that
it was
we were
Sundays.
going to
It's
meet
candy
up.
on Sunday because for
Sunday
the most
sounds
part
right.
you have a normal 9 to 5 job. So Sundays is your free day, unless it's your morning by your son's bed.
Well, that's usually what I do. But what was this? We were going to discuss? You were questioning.
Yeah, so I was going to talk to you about your son because I've been paying attention to spray.
Right, and you also noticed that I've in pharmaceuticals, and you want to ask me about my take on spray.
Yeah, basically.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I discovered like in the deep net, there's all this weird like it's got a weird feel to it. I don't trust it. I don't like it. I want to know more. So 10 a.m. coffee.
That's right. Just in the morning. Should we do that scene now?
House of Cards.
Because I think that's the first one. So
Okay. Yeah, and we're meeting up in the Starbucks in the what is it,
Northwestern Medical Faculty Foundation
Metal.
Hospital.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the
really?
one.
All right. It's
I'll
right
be
in the
there.
lobby. It's just sitting there in the reception area. It's like hopping, tons of people there. It's just filled with like there's seating for like 50 people here. It's just this open area with a Starbucks in the corner.
Mhm.
Doesn't have walls. It's open to the rest of the building.
Oh.
So there's like a little cafeteria sitting.
Well,
there.
I'll be there early, sipping on a cappuccino.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably show up 10 minutes late.
That's all right. My time's not valuable or anything.
Have you given him any specific description of what he looks like? Because there's mobs of people here.
Oh shit! I never thought about that because I only meet people for like coffee.
You just
who, like, I've
establish
seen.
like a booth or something.
Yeah,
An area.
we'll
of the-
just.
Yeah, I would probably get there and like
Yeah, I
pull
was
out my
gonna say,
phone
you
and
should
like
have
send an email or
carnation.
something.
Yeah, we'll
A
do that
bouquet
awkward
of
thing of like we
flowers.
didn't realize it. We were just like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's meet for coffee.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it happens,
It's like, oh, crap.
Oh shit, we don't know. Anyways, you see me at a table sipping on a cappuccino.
Yeah.
I look a little bit disheveled with the shadows under my eyes. It was a late night. And I kind of look like I do now, where I look like I've dressed up myself up a bit, but like the clothes are wrinkly. Haven't been ironed in a long time.
Mhm.
Tie is kind of like halfway tied on. And I also have my sleeves pulled up because it's a hot day.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have your
Hot
sword?
Starbucks. No.
Are you injured? Like, are you one of those people who's like constantly like black and blue?
Yeah, I might have an injury. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. We'll look at a D6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, nice.
I mean, okay.
It's a leg injury.
Left leg. So
So you have like a bit of a
Limping.
limp maybe.
I have a bit of a limp.
Okay, so you can't tell right away when you're sitting. Okay.
Yeah, but when you come up to me, I get myself up. I lift myself up and go. Oh, sorry, I injured my leg. I fell down some stairs. So forgive me if I don't stand up to meet you.
Oh, all right. Dr. Kyle, I'm so happy that you agreed to meet with me
Yes.
about my chemistry project.
Yeah, it's been a long time to talk chemistry in a collegiate setting. You know, I used to TA for some classes, so I think I can help you out.
Okay. Well, I know I contacted you because your son, or initially, your son. I mean, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, truly sad. But count your blessings. He's one of the only ones who's in a coma and still dead. So, there's some good in the world.
Yeah, well, that's what I hear about it and see in the news is that it's so incredibly deadly. Like, do you know anything about this drug? I know you're in pharmaceuticals, I guess.
Well, I'm in pharmaceutical research, so I don't know about this drug, but I know about drugs in general. And from what I can tell, it's a drug that affects the mind, the brain. And there's something unique about my son's brain that prevented him from dying. So it is very interesting. Peculiar, I must say. What's this project of yours about? You briefly mentioned it in the email.
Oh,
Are we doing some sort of like trials? Do you got like an idea cooking up in your head?
No, it's more for a communications class. I have to go interview somebody in the field.
Okay.
Oh, so disappointing. It's like,
I'm not going to fake my way through a
it's like,
conversation.
I
about
thought you were a
chemistry.
scientist, but you're actually just a poet.
All right. Okay. All right. What are your questions then, son?
Well,
No longer a colleague.
listen, I'm really interested in your take on the social impact of this drug.
The
Right.
social impact.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not like a socialist.
Wow. Well, sure, but your family has been directly affected by it, right?
Yeah, it's very sad. Every time I see, every time on the street, walking down, I see some kid maybe buying spray, I see my blood boil a little. Just because I know that, like, that's not good. That's
well, where
are you just seeing?
Yeah, where is that?
Is that something?
I guess that's suspicious to you.
On the street often?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not to the naked eye. I mean, like, since I've been affected by it, you kind of see it more, It's like you start thinking about buying a moped, and then you suddenly start just seeing a bunch of mopeds everywhere. There's a name for that effect. I don't know if off the top of my head, but I'm positive it's an effect.
I'm pretty sure there's a kind of confirmation bias.
Yeah.
I just want to know where you're seeing. Are you going to raves a lot now that your son's in a coma? It's like,
no, he's hunting down dealers.
There's nothing suspicious about that answer. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I know what's more suspicious, your answer or the fact that he doesn't have any respect for your mourning. It's like, so how do you feel that your son's now in a coma? Do you think this has a social impact?
Are you ready for me to ruin your whole day?
Nobody has any respect.
Yeah.
For
Do you think families are affected when their children die?
Back onto the project. Yes, that's kind of how it is.
Well, so I'm just wondering if you think it's sort of symptomatic of something more, either in like the way that we as a country see pharmaceuticals, or.
Well, I mean, the economy's not doing too well, so that's one factor. And Chicago's a tough place. There's a lot of crime, a lot of gun crime. It makes people want to, try and be somewhere else, so they go to drugs. I do pharmaceuticals to try and help people, so maybe, and drugs are kind of like street pharmaceuticals. They're just trying to help themselves, not legally or well though, but that's probably what they're trying to do.
This is the real world in the game time, so the opioid epidemic is a real thing in the game world as well.
Okay.
And everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
The only difference is that this drug is killing 100% minus one of the people who have taken it.
Yeah.
I forget. Is color spray liquid form, or is it?
I always imagine it as like an actual spray.
It's like a nasal spray.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Alright.
I guess it would be a liquid form that you aerate.
That's what I always
Yes.
imagined as Bloody Eye from Cowboy Bebop. You know, the first episode where they're just like.
Yeah.
You know those one-shot eye drop things?
Yeah.
That's how they're sold.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
So you stick them in your nose.
Yeah, why people would take a drug that almost has 100% kill rate
I just have no
is a
idea.
little bit beyond
how
me.
that works.
Good on the advertisers, though. Much better than our guys. Because for us, it's like death is only maybe, but one of the possible symptoms. Most times. But,
Okay.
Wait, it has 100% kill rate?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
are people just taking it to kill themselves? Like they're
This is the thing that's most shocking, and why people like Miles are dumbfounded by this, is because every evidence out there suggests that there's a huge market for this out there, but there's no evidence that anyone who's ever taken this has survived. Like,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why
I
it
think-
sounds
okay.
Yeah.
So there is evidence of there being
Alright,
a
sorry,
market.
yeah.
yes,
I
like
think-
there's
so
tons of
So
like
there should be users,
right.
but
It's like basically the thing in the narrative is that when Miles has looked on the dark web,
regularly.
there's so much communication about this drug out there that it suggests that there's huge interest and money behind it.
Mhm.
And so it's the kind of buzz you would hear like when a new drug is introduced or something like that. So you think there's a cartel involved or someone with deep pockets.
Yeah, like back a few
sounds-
years ago
it
when
sounds-
Crocodile came
Yeah.
out and everybody
It
heard about
sounds
it.
like-
Like, oh, melt your skin off.
Yeah.
But people are dying.
Yeah.
But
It's,
so far, all the evidence shows that anyone who's ever been connected to this drug has basically just shown up dead. So there's no evidence that anyone is like you'll go to a rave and hear that like no one's been able to find anyone actually buying the drug except for people who have been found dead with the drug on them.
Okay.
the scariest part about spray to me has to be that their sales pitch. Everyone goes in knowing that everyone who takes it dies. And yet there's people convincing them to buy it and to take it. Like, what is it about this drug that makes people risk death to achieve it?
It's well, honestly, Dr. Kyle, is Kyle your last name or your first name?
Kyle is my first name. My name is Kyle Cordivall.
Cordivall.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, Dr. Cordivall, like it's sort of got me stumped. I've been researching this drug for this project for a while, and I just can't stop wondering about it. Like it's so atypical. Like no drug kills everybody. Nobody would take a drug like that.
Well, I mean, there are drugs that kill people, you know, like
Sure.
lethal injection and all that, but you know, they don't do it willingly most of the time. It's weird. The demographic is totally strange. Oh, what is the demographic? We know like all the people who are dying.
Everyone.
Is it like
the demographic is majority like 20-somethings?
Just like
So
people who use drugs.
the sense seems like it's your typical party drug. So people are trying to track it through like typical marijuana/E demographic. But again, it doesn't make any sense because if it's selling the way they're saying it is, 30% of all ravers should be dead by now. Like there should be entire warehouses of dead kids, which is not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do go to try to like bust up these things, they can't find any evidence of this drug having been out there. Like kids are going, oh yeah, I've heard of so-and-so got some spray recently. But it's just all people talking about it as if it was being bought as a drug. But nobody seems to actually personally can say that they had it or know someone who had it, except for someone who's actually died and is on their person and is found in their bloodstream.
That sounds like a smokescreen to me.
So I sort of relate what James just said. Like, sort of am letting on that I'm doing a lot of research, have spent a lot of time looking into this.
Well, you certainly seem to know a lot more about it than I do.
Well,
Listen, I have a bit of a personal interest in it. With my son being in the coma and all. Please reach out to me if you ever find anything more about it, especially if in regards to where the spray is coming from. I'd really like to know that. I want to know where the spray is. But I hope your project goes well. School can be tough.
Purely for
so is it plausible that I would be able to guess at this point, like from I want to know where the spray is, and like looking at him and seeing like he's about the right size.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you make an idea roll? Because that seems like would be something that would fall into that category.
Just like
He did say a bunch of
There's 44 under 75.
You're pretty suspicious that he's clearly hiding something from you. He's not holding a sign that says, you know what, I'm really good with the katana.
Sure.
But you suspect that he's very
there's
clearly
definitely more to
lying
this
to
than
you about
appears.
his innocence with regard to this drug.
It's actually a rapier. Rapier actually have like a little bit of blade edge. Foils are just like
Foils don't?
foils. I think they're like the ones that just
Wobbly,
bend.
wobbly.
Yeah.
So they just have the point. Gotcha.
So, why don't we have... Oh, there's no... I just recently discovered there's a 7th edition of this game now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
been out for a while.
I regret not having realized this 3 months ago. But anyway,
is 7th edition a lot easier?
it's a lot more streamlined. The book looks pretty good, but they've
Man.
also made it so that there are
Damn
2
it.
volumes now. There's a player's
been-
book and a keeper's book.
I thought we've
it
been
costs
playing.
twice as much to buy.
I thought we've been playing 6th edition because
We
that's
have.
the edition
We
you
have.
prefer.
I
Yeah.
do. It
Oh,
was
okay.
the best until they decided to release 7th edition in 2 volumes.
Okay.
I just happened to notice it on the shelf at the store the other day. I'm going, hey, look, it's Call of Cthulhu. It's like, oh yeah, it's the new one. It's like, there's a new one? Because the cover looks almost exactly the same as 6th edition. But anyway, you should both make listen checks. It's the closest thing to...
Am I good at this?
Uh-oh.
Shit, I didn't put any points in the list.
The Cthulhu monster has
that's-
entered the coffin.
69 over 50.
88 over 25.
Oh, you guys are just
Is it
innocently...
spot hidden? I can see things, but my
mysteriously
ears are
enough, the Starbucks baristas pronounce his name perfectly correct.
Yes, it's like, you can't be a real barista. You got my name right.
Cthulhu Fatagan. Oh my gosh.
You're clearly only pretending to be a barista. So you know how to pronounce it.
Saying we didn't notice like a monster with tentacles serving drinks.
Meanwhile, they're all like, coffee for Kale?
Nobody looks at the baristas unless they're hot.
It's true.
True.
And steamy.
Yeah.
So what happens with the whole listen thing?
They didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
They failed both their roles. It's a very loud
anything
place.
else?
Doctors are talking
Yeah.
about patients. The barista
Right.
machine is like
Slurping coffee.
I guess
Babies crying.
I guess the only other thing
People screaming.
we have happen in the scene is I give you my phone number
Yeah.
in case you find out anything more about some
Spray.
interesting spray facts. And if
Okay.
you have any more questions, you can reach me directly.
Yeah, I definitely will if I come up with anything. And listen, and I take another one of your business cards and scrawl a number on it and hand it back to you.
Thank you.
Here's a good way to reach me. Like, I'd love to have a better take on it for my paper. The more information, the better a grade I could get,
I'll give you a call tonight.
Okay.
But otherwise, I have some things I have to attend to. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Connolly, for
Cordivall.
This is the second time a middle-aged man has shown an interest in you in the last 48 hours.
And I will go up to visit my son.
All right. So, you were on call Friday night.
We already established I wouldn't be there, especially because I go to dinner at my parents' house.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to figure out, like, if you were on call Friday night, when would be the last time you'd be on call again? Because just because you're with your parents, that doesn't mean you can't be beat then.
On call, yeah.
So
This is Monday.
it's
This is
Sunday
Sunday.
morning right now.
Yeah.
So,
It's like I think the prison stuff happened on Sunday. We never got our conversation last
Yeah.
session.
I also want to clarify: is Hale just a vigilante, or were you actually are you still connected to the police department?
I am a police officer.
Oh, you are still actually
Who is
okay.
Still, that's why I'm burning the candle at both ends.
Oh,
because I have
gotcha.
a full day job as an
Okay.
officer, and that's a lot of hours.
Okay, I couldn't remember that.
And weird times.
So I know I'm leading the witness here, but are you always listening to your police band radio,
Yeah.
even when you're not on? All right, because I don't know.
Batman do anything less.
All right, all right. It's just that it's one of those things. Is like I can't be listening
have,
to 24/7.
You have like a little pocket one, and you have a little earbud in at all times.
Mm-hmm. And I have a handgun taped to my back.
I mean,
24/7.
I think you could just have a holster for that.
It's in a Ziploc bag with water
Die Hard is
resistance.
my favorite movie. Damn it!
He's naked in the shower. He's got a gun in a Ziploc bag taped to his
Always
bag.
prepared. I'm really glad that we're taking this Bruce Willis joke all the way.
I really like watched the movie. It looks. I have to watch the old one to see how it compares.
Yeah.
All right, so you did not sleep well the last couple of nights.
No, I had that nightmare.
More nightmares.
Well, it's
But-
your own fault for going to diners and looking at scary things,
Forced person.
and then trying to follow them. Because
I like coffee.
yeah, coffee's fine.
It's not my fault.
Hey, maybe Nick was interested in that bag lady.
Yeah, she was not pretty.
definitely a government spy or something.
She's not his type at all. Like,
Like,
Bag
I thought
lady-
she was watching me, like, keeping tabs on me. I know somebody is.
so you are roused unceremoniously on Sunday when you were really hoping to sleep in, because your sleep has been so bad that apparently someone is being brought in that they found another spray case, and that a 20-something male is being brought into Northwestern Hospital this morning.
That's probably what we missed.
And he is still alive, and there's a police escort coming with him, because if he survives, he may be the only person who may have information.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'm definitely there.
So you have to get up, get dressed, and get out there.
Yeah.
So
But, I forget. Am I working on Sunday? I think I slept all Saturday.
yes.
Right.
So you would.
So I had that encounter with the bag lady last night.
It's up to
Saturday
you to
night.
decide whether or not you typically work night shifts or day shifts.
I would work day shifts because I hunt at night.
Oh, okay. In that case, you're at work and you're not asleep, and you hear this when
That
you're
makes
at the
more sense.
station.
Yeah.
So you can actually be in your cruiser and get out there. Do you have a partner? You have to have a partner. I don't think you're allowed to work solo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I tell, yeah, I mean,
Philip could be your partner.
Would you like me to be your partner, Nick?
Ooh, you could be.
Yeah.
Philip in real
Awesome.
life can be your partner. Like he could just be. His name will be Philip.
Your whole Nick thing. You can't add me to it. Have both of us. That'd be just too much.
So it's so it comes through on the radio, and they're like, "We should get somebody," and I'm like,
Where
out
should
the
I be?
door.
I'll be over here.
Yeah.
Well, we'll name him Oats,
Oats.
so it can be Hale and Oats.
Oh.
When Hale and Eights.
Yeah.
No, what's that American term for someone who's very healthy? Hardy.
Hale and Hardy.
Party Oats.
Hale and Hardy.
Hale and Hardy. You can be.
Yeah,
Hardy.
you could be Hardy.
There
Tom
you go.
Hardy.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy.
Thomas Hardy.
Okay.
That's right.
Thomas
Spelled with a
Hardy.
T.
Okay.
Hardy.
Should I sit over there or should I stay over here?
No, that's
You can stay
it's
there.
up to you. Whenever you're comfortable.
I don't.
You could be that not by the book cop that wears like a yarn hat and just like.
Yeah, I'm knitting in the
Yeah.
car. Waiting for police
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Hale doesn't let you drive.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
It's
a
probably
friendly
for the
guy. He's just a serious turn guy. I just knit and like ask him how his day is. And he's just like, oh, this.
No, that's why
You
you're
knit?
partners because
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah,
wants to be your partner and
I'm
nobody
knitting in
likes
the
him,
car.
so they basically put the three of you together because nobody
Yeah.
wants to work with either of you.
I knitted you a gun holster.
Yeah.
It's because I care for you so much.
It's like,
I saw the Ziploc bag you always use.
Why is it always
I just
wet?
gotta glare at it.
Okay.
Like, are you?
It's a
kidding me
gun
right now?
cozy.
You cannot be serious.
You don't want your gun to get cold.
It's like-
Oh, that's always the worst. You take it out like.
Gotta like warm up a little.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay, so wait, so we're in the thing.
winter's murder for gun holders. It's like negative 40 wind chills in Chicago.
Yeah.
All right, so you get to the hospital, and because you're in a police cruiser, you can just like park in the street.
And Nick's driving?
That
Sure.
sounds reasonable.
Yep.
Okay.
You can't knit and drive at the same time. It's against the law now.
Yeah, and I'm the one who wants to get there fast, so I'm like going really fast.
And I'm not sure why you're going so
I haven't put on the
fast.
siren.
You're police people. You
We're
can
police
siren
people,
your way
and we're
through
trying to
anything.
get
Try
there
red
to get
light.
information from somebody.
No, I know,
who-
but yeah.
yeah.
You're above the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know what the word indict means.
What's your guy's
Let's
name?
go.
Nick, what's your guy's name again?
Andrew Hale.
Okay, and I'm Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Thomas Hardy.
Prefer to be called by
You
Thomas.
still have self-respect.
Okay.
All right, so you guys pull up and dash out, and it doesn't take you much info because basically you heard on radio, so you know who's up there.
Uh-huh.
And so there's a. So I'm guessing you're gonna go up to where the emergency. So you run over to the emergency. They rush the kid in, and let's see. So you're gonna have a colleague there. I'm not gonna name this cop because he's just a random cop. So I'm not gonna waste my good names. Yeah. So the kid's name is Aaron Espinoza, and he's like 22-year-old Hispanic kid.
Okay.
Okay.
I apologize to the viewers who think 22 is too old to be calling him a kid. The doctors are working on him. Like, and it's the classic, clear, they're trying to start his heart. He doesn't look injured at all. In fact, he looks perfectly fine. There are no indications of any trauma.
Is there any way we can say that I have set up a tip-off system within the hospital? Like people who know me, that whenever we get a color spray case in like this, somebody calls me and
You
tells
can
me?
totally, especially in the modern age of phones and not beepers,
Okay.
you could easily be like notified of cases that come up on the hospital like database.
Okay. If that's possible, I would come in and see what's going on.
All right.
Because I know Kyle is tied to this. and
So
I know-
the bigger question then is:
You're a good friend.
Are you one of those people who goes, "Great pancakes, mom," and then you just jet out the door?
This
How
happens in
old
the
are you?
morning, right?
Huh?
So I go
Yeah.
to see my parents in the evening, Sunday dinner.
Oh, okay. So you're just at
it would-
home.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it'll probably take you a little bit because it's Sunday morning. Have you guys, any of you been to Chicago?
No.
So Northwestern Hospital is on the Magnificent Mile. Sunday morning on the Magnificent Mile is like thousands of tourists. It's like packed to the gills. So getting cars in and out of that area is like nutso traffic. So it would take you like an hour to get there.
Oh man.
Wait,
It's worth it.
unless you live right there. You could actually establish that you live
Yes.
really close.
You know what? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah,
are
you're
you
a rich
fairly
doctor.
wealthy in terms of being a doctor? Like you're
No.
Okay.
No.
then you can't afford to live that close.
Just don't live at the hospital.
Come on.
Oh,
Alright.
laying down the law.
Like I make the salary I would make as
Okay, you could.
right?
Okay, we'll say you barely are eking it out. Like you might be in debt or something.
Would
It just
you be
turns out
under
that
means?
area around that hospital is crazy expensive. It's like literally half a mile from Trump Tower.
Okay. All right.
So
Wow, it's a big hospital.
Maybe
yeah,
it's like
it's like 8 square blocks in size. The campus has like sky bridges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
maybe it's like a 5-mile bicycle ride away.
Just as long as I don't have to have a roommate.
No, you don't have to have. a
Okay,
roommate.
good.
I'm also your roommate.
No.
Oh my god!
No.
It turns out Thomas Hardy is involved with
Every
everybody.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you like her ex-boyfriend? Like you went to college together?
Tom and I play poker every other Tuesday.
Oh my
At the end
god!
of this, we're gonna figure out that James and Philip set something up before the game.
We
God.
knew that Thomas
Yeah.
Hardy would come up at some point.
Exactly.
We just wanted it to seem like Nick's idea, and then once he brought him in, it's like yes.
I'm in.
We slowly begin to realize
He's involved in every story, but like nothing
Yeah.
I
bad
also
is happening in
created the
his
channel.
story. He's
Yeah.
just like, hey guys, what's going on? We're like, fuck.
He's just a Kramer.
He's
He
like,
just shows up.
all right.
Hippity
Well-
hop to your way.
Yeah.
Or like the male guy.
Oh yeah, that's
He
right.
Male
shows
guy?
up. Yeah.
Newman.
Newman. Yeah.
Newman.
Oh, and when you show up, it just makes things harder for whoever the main character in the scene is. You
I mean,
just make
I'm
it-
a knitting cob. Of course it is.
it's like
Oh. Yeah.
everyone gets -10 on their rolls if you're present in the scene.
Get out. So yeah, I'm gonna head down there.
Okay, so it'll take you a little bit.
That's fine.
-10 is great.
Oh yeah.
The other way down.
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh.
locked. We've incorporated it. Too late.
So here's the cool thing. So Hale, make a luck check.
Okay.
Ooh. Let's see.
Is he gonna die?
Just immediately.
I stab him with my. crafting
66 does not beat 55.
Looks like he's not gonna make it. You hear the long beep of another failed rescue.
Oh.
Rescue schmescue. I wanted info.
Yep. The doctor
punch a
comes
wall.
out, like, talks quietly to the cop that's actually there. There's a nod. He goes back in. You see him signing off something on it, and your cop friend just leaves.
It's a shame we didn't have a psychic to speak to the dead man now.
Well, looks like we're too late.
What a waste of time. God damn it. This drug. It makes no sense.
You
Why
two
would
should
anybody
make
take
wisdom checks again.
He's
Fail.
trying so hard. 38. That's a success under 50.
So you, because you are someone who's always suspicious of like the cops coming after you, you actually do hear a cop car roll up like super loud with sirens and like just screech out and stop, like somewhere near the hospital. Like you definitely feel like, oh, there's a cop car pulling up over to like wherever the emergency room is the entrance
Okay.
is.
So
So you like look up a little bit when
yeah.
you see this cop car drive by.
I mean,
That was someone else?
No, it's you guys.
cop car with you. And have you already left?
No, you guys are still there.
Okay.
Oh,
This
okay.
is like
So
near
this is
the
like
end
the
where you guys
conclusion
are
where
about to
you-
wrap up.
Yeah.
He was busy like writing information and stuff like that, and so you were like looking around.
I don't know. I feel like that like cops come to hospitals all the time. Like this isn't.
It's not that unusual, not at all. Then you should both make spot hidden checks.
Oh, this one I succeed. 78 over 8 or under 80.
And I fail.
I see it just barely.
There is a candy striper who also notices this cop car and runs off.
What is a candy striper?
A candy striper is a volunteer individual, usually female, who comes to hospitals and passes out knickknacks to make people feel better who are in the hospital. They usually pass out games and toys and candy, which is not done anymore because candy strippers used to be allowed to pass out candy until hospitals realized that candy was bad for you and usually in violation of some dietary rules. So now they come and say, oh, would you like a Rubik's Cube or a board game or a little Nancy
Okay.
Drew novel?
Candy striper running off usually means a kid. Kid running off, kid in trouble.
The main thing that is most unusual in context, because you guys would know this even if your players don't, is that candy stripers are civilian volunteers, and they only care about like people who are in the hospital. Like, there's absolutely no reason that a candy striper would ever have an emergency, like, book emergency. It's like, oh my gosh, someone had their arm chopped off. Hurry, get my crossword puzzle book to them.
There's a kid with a boo-boo. We need you.
Yeah.
ASAP.
He's crying.
He's not gonna last long. We
So-
need.
So the striker ran off towards the ER, towards where the
Yeah, like you just as you notice that the car is there, you see like
and this
you
police
see her
car
look up.
like screeched up, siren blaring, and like parked in the middle of the street, and the cop ran out and
Well, he pulls over,
Okay.
and then, in fact, he doesn't stop where you can see him. You can see him heading towards where the ER entrance is,
Okay.
and it pulls past. But you do notice that this girl looks up, sees the car, and then like just leaves behind her pastry and her coffee, and just dashes off towards the ER area, as if somehow she was like a doctor who was needed or something like that.
Well, that could mean something. How can I leave this conversation, but also bring you along?
Well, at this point, you both are noticing something because you're seeing the
okay, we're
girl,
both
he sees the cop
noticing.
car, and so for some interesting way, you guys both look up and look in the same direction,
Okay.
which is very interesting because you do this because you're a vigilante. He does this because he's wanted for like high crimes against like humanity,
Oh.
and there's a brief moment where you both go, "Why does the other guy pay attention to stuff like this?" It's sort of like how when you're in a civilian situation, you're sitting there and having a normal conversation, and then something happens, and you realize, wait a minute, are you also a Navy SEAL? Because this is something that we only recognize would be done.
Yeah, it's like a classic, like the trained response is to like go behind the
Yeah,
chair
regular-
and
like-
both of
Yeah,
you
or
do
like
it.
reaching for a weapon that's not there.
Yeah, like I sat in that coffee area for years, and like there would be ambulances and cop cars drive by. I would never even look up. So to react to something like that is already by itself somewhat unusual.
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Looks like something's happening over there. It might be good for your project. Let's go check it out.
sure, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We just walk right in.
All right.
All right, so
I
it'll
thought
take you
you
about
belonged.
10 minutes to get over
Okay.
there.
I can use persuade.
So you are at this point the high excitement phase of this ER experience is done. Like they're pulling the cloth over the head. They're calling the people to come and get the body and take it downstairs.
Do I get there like right around now, or
You will not quite yet.
Okay.
They're gonna get there before you
Yeah.
because you.
I mean, we're gonna get a coroner's report and everything, right?
probably like tomorrow. Like nobody at this point is gonna care about this. Like they basically at this point they're gonna wheel it down to the fridge,
I want to be there.
put it in a tank,
Okay.
and wait until the guy comes to work tomorrow.
I want to be there for the autopsy tomorrow.
That is going to take paperwork. You can't just show up and say, "Crop, I'm here."
Which
to
is
look
why
at
I
it."
go to fill out paperwork because
Okay.
there's nothing else to do at this point.
All right,
He's just gonna be in a fridge.
You're gonna have to get someone to sign off. Like you're gonna have to wake someone up on a Sunday and come in. So are you heading? You're leaving.
I think so.
All right.
If he's dead, I can't do anything.
Make a luck check.
I pass. 34 under 45.
You see two cops here when you arrive in the emergency room waiting area. One of them looks vaguely familiar, but you're not sure where you've seen him before. The other person you've never seen before, but he's knitting, which seems super unusual. No, you don't have any of
I'm
that.
not knitting.
That
I
would
do
be
have like
silly.
I'm holding like one of my scarf things.
Yeah, like
Very unprofessional.
one of the cops looks vaguely familiar. The other cop looks like he might have been here to visit like a baby or a child or something. Like you're not sure what's off about him, and you can't tell whether or not cops generally have a half-made gun cozy in their hand or not.
Interesting. Okay, first I need to find out if it's a spray-related case. How can I go about asking? If I ask directly what it's about, that's not going to work great. Don't think asking for a study.
Wouldn't you, as a chemist, be able to immediately recognize the effects of spray on the human body?
I would.
Right.
Well, but they wouldn't be like
you're
in
not
the
gonna get
lobby
to
of the
examine
ER.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about
Yeah.
me. I'm talking about how.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to like just go up and examine
he
him.
wouldn't
The
get to
true
yeah.
end goal is to get his blood. I need to analyze the current iteration of spray to see if it's changed, to see if they're improving on it, to understand the process a bit better.
Okay.
Why don't you talk to somebody who's going to be in touch with the coroner?
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to go up to the cops. Excuse me, I couldn't help but there was some commotion. Is everything all right?
Another kid, man. The spray epidemic's going nuts.
It's another one.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Oh no,
I think
so sorry.
I think somebody's got to be forcing these kids to take this stuff. I mean, nobody would choose to take it.
It is really strange to have a drug with 100% lethality. Oh well, 99.99% lethality rate.
Yeah, that kid.
Yeah,
right.
He's actually my son. You know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so that's why it's really sad to see another kid go through.
Spend a lot of time here. Then you must see others come through.
Do I?
No. Very few.
They don't often make it to the hospital.
It's just super shocking because, again, this is one of those things where it's like, if so many people are dying from spray, why aren't hospitals just filled with cases of it? Like, there's almost none.
You know, I love to find out more about spray, but I work in pharmaceuticals, and one of my projects is to try and find out more on the hidden meaning of spray. But you know, paperwork, I can't get through to it. Do you know of any way I can perhaps analyze what's going on through his bloodstream?
Well, we've been consulting some people, but they haven't had any successes, or any success determining what the core.
You've been consulting people?
Of course, if you've got any dead people turning up, they're gonna have reports on everything.
Not consulting me. Okay, all right.
But they haven't been successful at their
police. But they didn't accept it.
You're just a random dad.
That's the only reason why you wouldn't have already been involved.
You haven't told anyone that you were involved in creating the drug, right?
Yeah, you kept that below board.
Like, you're basically just a random grieving father annoying the police department.
I can't admit it. Not to the police.
But I mean, none of them have had any luck determining what the
You're researching
how it might be made. Like, if we can get any sort of
this cop talking to you is the most the Chicago Police Department has communicated with you since this thing started.
Yeah, I'm
except on the first day when the case first came to light.
I'm a little shaky right now because it's like it's finally happening. I'm getting a cop to talk to me about this, and I don't want to screw it up. Wow. Yeah. No. I've made a couple of discoveries myself. It seems to try and upgrade the brain or something along those lines. As far as I can tell, there's some sort of sales pitch. I need to know more, though, because, well, I want to know if they're improving upon the formula or if they're just slinging the same stuff. And if the formula is a little different, like maybe the purity is a little different, that would tell me if it's more than one group creating the spray or if it's just one.
That's an
But
interesting
of course,
idea.
this is all conjecture until I can get a sample of the blood.
At this point, have you told Hale why you know so much chemistry?
I just told him I work in pharmaceuticals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where have you been conducting research on this stuff? Because
I
it's
work
been kept pretty secret.
I work in pharmaceuticals at Altered Solutions.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
You have heard of them because their name has come up in some of the consultancies.
Yeah.
Say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you probably know us best from Boulavax from the commercials. It's a laxative.
I can't say I have, but
Boulavax?
Yeah.
You would if you needed it.
Yeah, I haven't been in the market
those commercials until you need them.
myself. But I'm sure it works.
Yeah, they're great.
Well.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She
Yeah,
just
little-
loves to poop.
You got a little shovel mascot.
At this point, you see that the two big orderly types are coming to move the body onto a cart, and you enter just into the ER area as you see that they're starting to cart the body out.
Oh yeah, I break away from the conversation to take a look as it goes by.
Yeah, and it's just
Listen, I'll tell you more when I get
it's a body under a white cloth.
Yeah, so I think
It's like-
Okay, well then I don't because
It's like,
I think I break through and I come walking in and I like point at the guy who's taking it down and it's like, this body here, is this the color spray victim?
They turn, and then one of the people cleaning up in the OR says, "Yeah, the orderlies have no idea."
Yeah. Wait, you taking them down to the morgue?
Yeah, it's dead.
It's dead.
It's dead. Wow.
Dang, they really are. They really do work in the
humanize
morgue.
corpses.
Yeah, they're good. That's
Oh,
their
yeah,
job.
I
is
guess
like,
that's true. All right.
Fair enough. Okay, so I pause for a minute, look down at it.
You get a sense that they're being a little bit lippy for you being a doctor. Wait,
Yeah.
are you in your outfit? Oh, you have your tag.
Yeah,
So.
I don't care.
Yeah,
because I'm a
you
doctor.
get the sense they're being a little bit lippy. Like it's like yeah, because there's a corpse, you moron. Of course we're taking it down to the morgue.
orderlies. I go, all right, I'm coming with you.
Sure. They can't really stop you because you outrank them so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a look at the body if I can. I feel like.
So you would see.
Do I notice
Kyle,
them,
right?
or I notice Kyle, or
Well-
do I?
Yeah, he's right there. He's talking to two cops.
Okay, so I think
And
it's
a
something.
kid with
some
him.
random kid.
Well,
some,
I'm just
like,
so I think it's something where I have this razor focus, where I'm just like, there's the body, and like go over, and I'm talking to the orderlies, and then I turn and see Kyle.
Yeah, just have a nice chat with the cops.
So I look in between Kyle and the cops.
Are you like
You're like,
standing there in
did
the
they know?
circle,
Like,
not
yeah.
saying anything?
Yeah.
You're like off a.
I think I'm like a little bit aside,
Not
like
top.
not quite in the circle, like the
Oh.
grown-ups are talking.
Oh yeah, it's the
Yeah.
classic like you know
You're off
you
to the
should
side.
be there, but you don't know how to like interject yourself in the
Yeah,
conversation,
also I'm
and no one's
terrified of
including
this
you.
cop.
So I think I walk up and go, Mr. Cordivall.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Doing all
what
right.
is it? Joseph.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
Has your son's condition improved at all?
No,
That's a
no,
shame.
but- oh well, I mean, his eyelid fluttered, which was nice, especially when I told him how his favorite baseball team was doing.
I see.
That's adorable.
Aww.
So tragic. If we only had more backstory time, so the audience would have more sympathy.
I'd like you to know that this newest victim, I'm going to examine him closely, see if he can give us any clues into your boy's issues.
That'd be great. That'd be great. You know, I was just,
As you
I was
say
just
that,
talking
you
to
realize that because you've paused to talk to some civilian, the orderlies have gotten the body over to the elevator.
I know where it's going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they just realized, oh, the doc is not
What?
following
I
us.
have- I have no
so,
regard
so then,
for
are
their-
you the one doing the autopsy?
Turn to you. No.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. No. I'm
But,
not.
please, I mean, Andrew, or Andrew Hale. This is Joseph. He's the doctor
Hello.
that's been working with me, or has been trying to help my son.
Pleasure to meet you. Are you an officer involved in the color spray case?
I'm watching it go, but I don't.
I'm personally interested, but no, I'm not involved in this case per se.
Oh, and
You're personally interested.
Oh yeah, this is what the talk of the town is. I mean, this.
I'm like looking at. I didn't know that cops had enough time to have personal interests.
The body, and there was a candy strip in the
I
elevator.
don't need to be rude.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to be.
oh, and
Wait,
this
It's
is
been a slow one.
this is
I'm also standing
Miles.
aside,
That's already
here,
gone.
so-
Yeah,
Yeah, the doors.
and this is Miles, by the way. He was interviewing me for one of his projects, and I'm
what's
sure
that?
he can interview you two as well, right, for your project.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've been doing a research project for my my college course about spray, and it's sort of what the drug is and its effects on the society, and it's really sort of piqued my interest.
Kyle, who is this kid?
He goes to University of Chicago. He reached out to me to learn more about spray, and so and since he found out my son is the only surviving case of spray, he wanted to see about the social ramifications.
Yeah, I mean it's just a really curious phenomenon, right? Like this drug is everywhere but nowhere. You can never find it. You can never find anybody who has anything to do with it, and yet everybody knows about it. Everybody knows somebody who's died from it, and yet nobody, like, we don't see him in the hospitals. Like, what's going on?
Like Schrodinger's drug.
I
Well,
don't know if
it's
they're actually
actually-
like that at all.
I mean, it's obvious what it is, but the detectives on the case won't admit it.
Wait, what is it?
It's a smokescreen.
A smokescreen for what?
What do you mean?
Well, let's say.
Here he goes.
Let,
Are you
let's say
insinuating
I'm
that-
interested in running a huge illegal arms smuggling operation. What would I like everyone in the police departments to be doing? To be hunting a drug that everyone talks about that isn't on the streets,
But the drug
but
exists.
only enough die.
It's a real drug, though.
Oh, certainly it's a real drug, but it's not an epidemic.
It
Only
is,
enough
though.
people are dying to keep the police interested.
But how does that explain why people are still taking it?
The only ones taking it are being forced to take it.
So how does
They're poisoning people and leaving a trail of breadcrumbs.
Is that
if you will.
consistent with the research I've done so far?
Well,
I mean, you can't find evidence of people doing it.
could happen. Like, I mean, it is
Okay.
a fairly lethal drug. I mean, someone could have synthesized it on purpose to kill people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be. It seems a little bit far-fetched.
So wait, what about the network effect, right? It's all over the net. Everybody knows all this stuff about spray, but nobody, like, everybody knows about it, but
Exactly.
nobody knows about it. But, like, how does that influence?
So they're definitely in deep into the communication network in the dark web and everything.
So what are you saying? This is some sort of a fake news operation?
But what about the vigilantes?
Everyone's hunting something that there are no leads to.
I'm sorry, dark web?
I didn't say dark web. He said dark web. I don't even know what that is. I'm a chemist.
Those are my
Wait, did someone just say dark web? I don't know what it is. Is that like a spider web with a lot of dirt on it?
I'm sorry, Officer Hale, but that theory seems a little far-fetched to me.
Makes perfect sense to me. I mean, it makes no sense as a drug to be peddling on the streets. And we've found no proof of peddling on the streets as far as any real drug operation would have been concerned. There's no significant money changing hands that we've found.
But it's a real drug, though.
Well, certainly.
Can you imagine?
Everything behind the counter is a real drug. Every poison we use to
Can you imagine the amount
deliver
of,
lethal injections is a real drug.
Can
It's
you
not being sold on the streets.
Can you imagine the amount of manpower and work it would take to go around systematically poisoning people?
And to create this drug, it's
how
a very
many have
specific,
actually died?
It's a very specific drug. It doesn't just...
A lot of
If you wanted a drug to kill people, you would just do it simply. Shut down the organs, there's a couple of chemistry talk.
Right.
To kill the organs.
They want to make it
But
look...
this attacks the brain directly. It's going and doing much more work.
Because it's supposed to look
do
like
it.
a psychedelic.
It's supposed to look like a drug. Like a drug people would use.
like a recreational drug.
Like a recreational drug, exactly. There is a facade of a drug epidemic happening here. And I think whoever's behind it is running a real operation that they
Something
don't want
deeper
anyone
into this?
paying attention to.
Huh.
And nobody will listen to me. Which is strange because it seems so obvious.
Well, we can learn more if we can examine this kid's
Either way.
body.
Joe, if you could give me a sample of...
I glare at you for calling me Joe.
Joseph. I don't have
Dr.
your,
Novak.
I don't have your last name written
It's
down.
Dr. Novak.
Dr. Novak.
He has a badge that clearly says Novak.
But we're on first name basis.
Mr. Dog.
Maybe you don't realize that at
Well,
his workplace.
I'm on first name basis with
Yes.
him.
I called you Mr. Cordivall to not let the cop know that we have... Never mind. Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, Joseph, it would benefit me in my research if I could get some of that kid's blood, just a small sample. And, just,
Mr.
drop
Cordivall,
it.
we've been over this. The amount of legal and medical ethical lines I would have to bend to get you a sample of this kid's blood, I can't. It can't be done.
Look, if you're who you say we are, or who you say you are,
I will.
and we haven't consulted you, I could perhaps hook you up with a consultation into this particular case.
That'd be wonderful. Yes.
I mean-
I didn't even realize that there were consultations on this, and I would be glad to help.
Yeah, it's a drug epidemic. So
So the hospital announcement code goes off. It's that high pitched tone that basically says, "Oh, Dr. Derry to the pharmacy, blah blah blah." The code goes off, and the announcement that follows is "Code white to the morgue." Code white to the morgue.
What?
As a doctor, you know that this means that there's a violent patient, and they're calling for security.
Curious.
we don't know what that means. We don't act at all.
So
You as
I,
a-
Except
only-
the morgue, we're
yeah,
like,
hospital staff.
what could
knows.
that mean?
that means that there's a violent patient in the morgue, which
Well,
is curious.
That makes no sense. He just died.
Did we see like a troop of
Wait.
orderlies go running by?
This
we're
is
the
for
cops,
security.
aren't we?
Okay.
So-
Dr. Cordivall, in that elevator, it was not just the two orderlies and the corpse. There was another woman, and I think she was the one that you
A
saw.
woman.
When he was declared dead, how was it checked?
I heard a flatline myself. I was
Yeah.
in the room
I wasn't here.
trying to get a.
Yeah.
Trying to get any
you know,
answers we
doctor
could
was there,
before he
you know,
passed.
They do the whole, oh look, no
It could
heartbeat,
be-
blah blah blah.
Could be that the drug was trying to restart the body, restart the brain, shut everything down, reconstruct. You can't change something while it's currently on.
Let me pause you for a second. Let's just get down to the morgue and see
You
what's
gotta
happening.
reboot it.
What
then
you just
update.
said to you as a doctor is pure
Yeah.
science fiction.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get down to the morgue to find out what's happening, and not jump straight to the zombie.
I
here.
developed drugs because I want new drugs.
He's a flatliner.
like that.
Oh, you know they're remaking that movie?
I know.
No, it makes
I
sense.
know. That's what
My
I'm
son
referring
is
to.
in a
It's so
coma.
Oh,
I tried
that
to
looks
restart the
weird.
brain, but it got
It looks
stuck in
really
a
scary.
startup sequence.
Look, I know The Walking Dead has put a lot of ideas in people's heads,
it's a
but
good
zombies
show.
aren't real.
The first
It's not a
season
good
was
show.
good.
Yeah, the
Also,
first season's good.
also
I-
bodies
I
aren't
actually-
anything
That
like
was about it,
computers.
No, my character said.
Although maybe
Oh.
I'd
So,
buy time to that.
so
dude.
you're gonna take all these like random civilian types down to the morgue?
Yes,
Okay.
Well, there's two police.
I guess they can't really stop
Because
you.
I
You do
kind
have
of-
police.
police
Two
officers-
police with violence.
it's two
They
police
basically
officers.
are
There's violence. I kind of
extended
believe in what
security.
Kyle's
Right.
doing, and I want to keep an eye on him.
And I'm gonna tag along.